Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 11, text number 17. Nimittamatram tatrasin Nirgunaha Purusharshabha Vyaktya Vyaktam Idam Vishwam Yatra Brahmati Lohavat. Translation, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Dhruva Mahārāja, my dear Dhruva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. He is a remote cause of creation of this material cosmic manifestation. When he gives the impetus, many causes and effects are produced. And thus the whole universe moves, just as iron moves by the integrated force of a magnet. Purport. How the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead works within this material world is explained in this verse. Everything is happening by the energy of the Supreme Lord. The atheistic philosophers who do not agree to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the original cause of creation think that the material world moves by the action and reaction of different material elements. A simple example of the interaction of the elements occurs when we mix soda and acid and the movement of effervescence is produced. But one cannot produce life by such interaction of chemicals. There are 84 lakh species of life with different wishes and different actions. Now the material force is working cannot be explained just as the basis of chemical reaction. A suitable example in this connection is that of the potter and the potter's wheel. Potter's wheel rotates and several varieties of earthen pots come out. There are many causes for the earthen pots. But the original cause is the potter, who sets a force on the wheel. The force comes by his superintendence. The same idea is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Behind all material action and reaction there is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna says that everything depends on his energy, and yet he is not everywhere. The pot is produced under certain circumstances of action and reaction of material energy. But the potter is not in the pot. In a similar way, the material creation is set up by the Lord, but he remains aloof. As stated in the Vedas, he simply glanced over it, and the agitation of matter immediately began. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that the Lord impregnates the material energy with the part and parcel jivas, and thus the different forms and different activities immediately ensue. Because of the different desires and karmic activities of the jiva's soul, different types of bodies in different species are produced. In Darwin's theory, there is no acceptance of the living entity as spirit soul, and therefore his explanation of evolution is incomplete. Varieties of phenomena occurs within this universe on account of actions and reactions of three material modes. But the original creator of the cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is mentioned here as nimittamatram, the remote cause. He simply pushes the wheel with his energy. According to Mayavadi philosophy, the Supreme Brahman has transformed himself into many varieties of forms. But that is not the fact. He is always transcendental to actions and reactions of material gunas, although he is the cause of all causes. Lord Brahma says, therefore, in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many causes and effects, but the original cause is Sri Krishna. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So, Swayambhuva Manu continues to preach to Dhruva Mahārāja. He is explaining how everything happens in this material world. Last two verses, he was explaining how the Prakriti is doing everything. Which is also revealed in the Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasha. And only Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Manyate. Only one who thinks he is this body thinks that naturally, if he thinks he is a body, he thinks the bodily action are his actions. So to think that anything in this material world is happening due to the soul's direct action is an illusion. Vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. It is explained here that the super soul as nimitta matra. Nimitta matra means he is not the active. He is not the active. He is not the material cause that pushes something in this material world. He is beyond material cause and effect. Just like Mahavishnu is lying in the Karanajvala, when he creates, he glances into the Mahattattva. In other words, when he glances, he sets loose the chain of action-reaction. That's why in this material world we see that there is a cause-effect everywhere. You can find somewhere there is a cause. And then behind it, take that as an effect, you will find another cause. Take that as an effect, you will find another cause. There is a chain of cause and effect in this material world. So this chain of cause and effect, that cause is not created by that cause effect. In that cause, neither the super soul nor the jiva is the cause. They are all material causes. The Supreme Lord is transcendental. The spirit soul is transcendental. Transcendental means they are not part of the material cause and effect. Yet material energy, cause and effect, the chain of cause and effect cannot be activated without the glance of the Lord, without the Lord being the nimitta matra. Just like if you run electricity through a bulb, you can say the power of the, so how much light is coming depends on wattage of the bulb. If you have small wattage, less light, more wattage, more. So you create a cause-effect relationship. A bigger wattage light will give more light. Less wattage will give less light. You associate the cause to the bulb. Neither the less wattage bulb or the high voltage bulb can burn without the nimitta matra, without the electricity. So, there is a transcendental touch of the Lord with the material energy. Therefore, everything is activated. Material nature by itself is not, just like Prabhupada gave example. You mix soda and acid, effervescence is produced. You need only soda and acid, effervescence is produced. So how movement in this material world is produced is not like simply mixing them. One more element. Mixing is there, one more element. That is the cause of all causes. So Krishna is a cause of all causes. A cause cannot be a material cause in this world cannot become a cause to create an effect unless there is a cause of all causes behind it. That is the difference between cause of all causes and causes. He is a cause of all material causes. That is why it is said that not a blade of grass can move without his sanction. One should never think that the material energy is automatically going on. There may be so many automatic components. At the end of it, there has to be cause of all causes, because of which this cause-effect chain is activated. The cause that activates the cause-effect chain, that is the super soul. He is all-pervading, he is within the atom, within the heart of all living entities. So once we come out of the bodily concept of life, then it is easy to understand this. This body is run by the three modes of material nature. You have only remote connection. Just like in a movie, let's say there is an interactive movie. You identified with somebody there. That's not you. After identifying, then you are giving decision as if it is you. The video interactive game, you are giving decisions. that decision that we give, we are also not controlling any joystick directly. It's a material example, limitation. The jiva desires and the super soul sanctions. The super soul simply sanctions. And therefore, the material energy moves. You are only in your consciousness you have entered the movie. Movie is completely different from you and the world outside. Similarly, the living entity is completely different from this material energy. The movie screen is fully, and how the circuit, everything, how the TV is designed. If something happens to the machine, to the TV screen, you can go and repair it. But you can repair it, you cannot make the machine do anything that you want. You can make the machine to do something if according to the laws of the machine. Machine is not working. You cannot tell, work. That is spiritual way. In Chinmaya world it is like that. There are no phenomena. TV will wish to work or not wish to work. So you have to personally convince the TV, work. That is Chinmaya TV. Here, the TV fails. You say, hey, wait, come on. I am watching the movie. Why you stopped? No, it will not listen. Yes, you can make it work, provided we understand what is the law that is working on it. Who has created? Krishna has created everything. When Krishna has created, he is a designer. When he has designed something, you want to manage that, you have to manage according to the principles of design. Just like the volume is so less, I want to increase the volume. Come on, increase volume. They will not listen. What you have to do? You have to turn the knob. As per, there is a design. You want to increase volume, then you turn like this. Volume will increase. So our yantra is made according to laws of nature. Largely it is function of the three gunas. Then gunas reduce into so many other things. Action, direction, everything. According to different gunas, different intelligence, etc. Different emotions, all those things. But largely three types of gunas is running the material yantra. And of course the entire existence also, material existence also. We are only part of, our body is only part of this material existence. But this machine is such a wonderful machine. Nobody can create a robot like this. It's a robot. They have come down from the spiritual world. We have our original body. We forget that because we want to independently enjoy, which cannot be done with my spiritual body. So therefore you have to adopt a false body. And that false body, when you think I am that false body, that is called false ego. So you adopt a false ego. And then you operate this body through the false ego. Operate your body for what? What you cannot do in the spiritual world. What you cannot do in the spiritual world? With your body. Because it is all spiritual. It is in love and in love of Krishna, and it can only engage in service of the whole. Of whom I am part and parcel. A part and parcel has to serve the whole. It's one integrated whole. Living entity and Krishna cannot be separated. Krishna is a complete whole. Even now we are not separated. Eternally we are connected. That is why it is said that Krishna consciousness is awakened. So the moment we want to have, that is called false egotism. I want to be the enjoyer. So it starts at the ego feeling. Then you get this material body. And because of that contamination of wanting to independently seek Satya, Chitta and Ananda, we get, as a punishment, we are given this punishment body. Come on, you want to have all this independently. No problem, there is a field, material energy. Go there and be, independently enjoy. You earn as per your karma, you earn, and independently enjoy. But that is a false enjoyment, that is a movie enjoyment. Your constitutional thing, your constitutional rasa is in the spiritual world. Your constitutional rasa is not in this movie world. So that is again, this is where it is. The soul as well as super soul, spirit, we should understand. I as a tiny spirit, I cannot move matter. Therefore, along with me, the super soul is always there. The soul and the super soul together is what making this journey. Because to animate this movie, the content of the movie may be governed by some things in the software and all those things. But to drive the software, Jiva cannot move an inch of matter. Jiva cannot move an inch of matter. If super soul is not with me, I cannot do anything. I cannot speak, I cannot raise hand, and nothing. I cannot move anything. So just imagine how much we are completely dependent upon the Lord, and we feel we are independently moving, independently doing. We are born in a body and we do not know how the body is acting. I wish to raise my hand and I raise my hand. I wish to cry, I cry as a baby. Whatever it is. But when I wish how that command is gone to make the body cry. When I wish to raise my hand, how that command is executed. That means I can control material energy. That is the illusion. It's only through the super soul, with the sanction of the super soul, that jiva's perverted desires can be translated into the material energy. So there are so many material causes and effect. But there is a transcendental cause. Jiva can be caused in the spiritual world because he has a spiritual body. He is spirit and he has a spiritual body. In the spiritual world, I can say I am the doer. Because spiritual body, as a spirit soul, I can touch spirit, spiritual body, chinmaya sharira. And such sharira, that's chinmaya sharira, they are not based on phenomena. They are not phenomenal bodies. These bodies are bodies made out of phenomena. The body cannot sustain if all the organs inside doesn't work. It will die. It's called phenomenal body. When I touch your skin, the sense of warmth, that has so many causes behind it, temperature, small electrical signals going. And then finally it goes to the brain. So there are all material causes. But finally, you feel a sense of touch. Oh, touch. That is not caused by trigunas. That sense of seeing, touching, smelling, tasting is created, that experience is due to super soul. Matter does not have this robot. Just like this microphone cannot touch, smell, taste, everything. Cannot experience these things. Take a sophisticated robot. It cannot experience seeing, touching, smelling, tasting, cannot experience. Without experiencing that, can we say robot on its own has a life? No. Life means these things. Touching, smelling, tasting, all these things. It doesn't have that experience. Exactly in the same way, when you come into this material world, we get a material body. The material body, the super soul gives us a basic perception of touch, smell, taste, all these things. Just like if you have A, B, C, D, the alphabets, you can write so many things. All the books in the libraries all over the world, all over the internet, everything, just out of A, B, C, D to Z. Very interesting. Is it not? Similarly, the life symptoms smelling, touching, tasting, all these things. It's like ABCD, given to us by Super Soul. Now rest you are responsible. What essay you want to write with it? What story you want to write with it? If you want self-centered enjoyment from these senses, yes, laws of karma are there. You do it. You're free. No Rishikesha, Rishikena, Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. No, I want to practice Bhakti. That is why he is called Rishikesha, the master of all senses. The Lord who is seated in our heart is called Rishikesha, master of the senses. That means those sensations. He is the owner of those sensations. We cannot do anything. The living entity is part and parcel, means cannot do anything without the whole. At the same time, one should not think that the Lord is an actor like the material actors. All material actors in the material world are in illusion. That means Lord is not acting in the material world out of false ego. That is why it is said he is untouched by three modes of material nature. Lord is sanctioning. We may have so many, let's say in our head, we created a mind world of material life. And in that we have got so many rasas, so many problems, pleasures, pain, all those things. These are all happening to the body. And we are watching because we identified with the body, therefore we see that I am doing, I am killed. The Bhagavad Gita, that's what Krishna teaches first. You are not killing anybody. Nor is anybody getting killed. Because neither you nor me nor any of the people in the battlefield are their bodies. They are not in this dimension. You cannot kill with a sword. You cannot dry it with, you cannot make it wet. It's transcendental. The spirit is transcendental. Spirit ego. I am not this body person, but I am the spirit person. Now spiritual life means we have to now go back. If you want to go back to Godhead, my spirit ego, the spirit system is completely now under the control of my mind-body robotic system. This is not analogy, this is actual fact. This is a mind-body robotic system. As I said, this itself does not body, mind, all these things, even mind, intelligence, false ego, they're all material elements. That is why we say mind-body robotic system. It can work in conjunction with a real spirit ego. On its own, it cannot. So my real thinking, feeling, willing, desiring, being, acting, enjoying, all of that are influenced by my robotic system. My robotic system is the one who creates this movie in the mind world. And I am the Kshetrajna, knower of this. So I see my mind, I see my intelligence, I see. We have handed over, power of attorney we have given to the mind. The soul has given, so you take decisions. So when we do so many, we will in this material world to do this, do that, all those things. That is taken over by the mind. Mind is willing on the basis of power of attorney of the soul's will, free will. So when we begin spiritual life, we are taught, you are not this body-mind robotic system. Now you have to awaken. Now you are providing all Shaktis to the mind-body robotic system. Spirit is the force behind this body. But all your energies you are giving to somebody whom you are not. That is this body, you are not. So life after life we give all our soul energies to animate this robotic system and work for the interest of this robotic system. I am the body in me, I am bodily senses, I have to enjoy senses. In this way we fall into, the living entity falls into the illusion. And get sukha and dukkha as per law of karma. That is how it is in this material world. If you want to reverse it, now we have to, reversing means what? Activating my spirit system. The spirit is taken away, this body cannot function at all. Now I have to activate the actual spirit system. And who is just like here, I am this body is what I am believing I am, that is my existential ego, I am this body. So body needs to be taken care of, body needs to be protected, body needs to be everything. The spirit ego is part and parcel of Krishna. The spirit ego is different from the bodily ego. If it is different, then what is it? I am inseparable part and parcel of Krishna, of the same quality as Krishna. So my being part and parcel of Krishna, my real self-interest and desires should be to please Krishna. So moment we activate, start engaging in devotion service, even with this yantra becomes purified. Zero sense gratification. I come out of the idea that I am this body, so no sense gratification is very easy for me. It is not my senses, why I should gratify? Of course, that is a jnani's path. We simply engage our senses. It may not be my senses, but I have to use my senses in service. Even if they are temporary, I have to use it in service of the Lord. So practicing bhakti means Ishikena Ishikesha Sevanam. We engage in that. So in other words, anyway this material mind-body system is a robotic system. Why don't we make it into a pure Vaishnava robotic system? Sadhana bhakti is meant for that. Sadhana bhakti is meant for converting this mind-body system, robotic system, into a system that will help you do only what pleases Krishna. then what happens? That body becomes pure body. So much it is said that it is the transcendental Lord gets attached to that body. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carried the dead body of, it's not dead in a sense, it is all spiritual, Chinmaya, body of Haridas Thakur. Hare Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, greatest spiritualist. Why he is carrying dead body? Already Haridas Thakur is gone. Why is he carrying the dead body? Why is he glorifying? Why is he worshipping? Why? Because from the perspective of the Lord, there is nothing material for him. The moment our body becomes purely, means cleansed, Chetodarpana, everything is cleansed, all nonsense is cleansed. All these stories of life based on I am this body is all cleansed. Once it is cleansed, Chetodarpana Marjanam, everything, all anarthas are gone away. The body becomes a pure instrument in the hands of the Lord. That time it is said that the body is spiritualized fully. When his body is fully spiritualized, of course it will become only spiritualized when the spirit system awakens. The spirit system awakens, then it will, at that stage, our mind-body robotic system will function according to the awakened mode of the spirit system. Shuddha Chitta, Chinmaya Sharira. It will function according to that. So it does not matter. Such a person, even if he is in the material body, this material body will simply be transparent to his spiritual wishes and spiritual devotional activities that the spirit wants to perform. The body will simply execute. You won't feel there is body in between. When the body is completely purified, you don't feel there is body is in between or your body is doing nothing. You won't feel. Prakriti must be doing, but you don't feel. Because you are doing the spiritual platform. Just like these specs. You don't think of the specs at all. But when the specs is new, for first time you put specs, you are always aware there is one glass. There is glass here. In few days you have forgotten the glass. You see everything through the specs. Why? Because it is transparent. You don't feel it. It just simply, it transmits. So first we have to purify this mind-body yantra as per sadhana bhakti. Mind includes feelings. That means we have to practice or we have to live a life of dependence on Krishna, surrender to Krishna, all these things. With this yantra, with these manobhavanas. These manobhavanas will awaken our atma bhavanas. This is a whole process, shortcut process of going back to Godhead, the bhakti yoga. As Guru is so important in this, he gives us a method, guidance. What we should do, what we should not do. What is, scriptures say, in this body, this robotic mind-body system should act in a surrendered mode of Krishna. Surrender to Krishna. Accept things favorable for devotion, reject things not favorable. But how do you know what is favorable, what is not favorable? Guru. Unless one have a Sadguru who is operating from, not from this platform of ours. He is not operating from the material platform. He is operating from the transcendental platform. He knows the entire science of awakening Krishna consciousness. He knows the entire science of why Jiva is trapped here, how it is trapped here. And therefore, those who know the science can develop engineering solutions. Is it not? Once he knows in science, then application of that science is in engineering. Similarly, the pure devotee of the Lord knows the entire science of Krishna consciousness. How we are in Maya consciousness, why we are in Maya consciousness, what is body, what is mind, what is the central system, what is the soul, where is its original place. All this science he knows. So sadhana bhakti is an engineering solution. Sadhana bhakti, only those who know, you cannot create your own rules. It has to be created by one who knows the science. So the spiritual master knows. Why Mangalarti, why Guru Puja, why Tulsi Puja, why Japa, why deity worship. He knows. We cannot eliminate something from that. So I will create an engineering solution. You do not know the total science. So you cannot follow, you cannot practice bhakti by your own speculation. Everything ready-made it is given. Our 6 Goswamis are transcendental engineers, spiritual engineers. Where they say do something like this, there is science behind it. Science of awakening the soul. Any questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए।